Now, I want to keep the context as Dusthita Matir, where our mind is agitated, and I want to keep the context that we are in right now, where there is a lockdown in India. There are people whom we know are dying or are affected and are admitted in hospital, and there is a sense of helplessness. There is a sense of I don't know what to do, where to go. And keeping these circumstances and situations that we are in when we read these verses, and Krishna is telling Ma Vatistha, don't be disturbed, Arjuna. Ma Vatistha. And the purport, actually, it's such a brilliant purport by Prabhupada when he explains what is exactly this verse and why it is so important. You see, there is a plan of the Lord. There is this whole material world is not acting as per our own whims or fancies or some randomness. It's just going on. No, there is a plan of the Lord. Every plan is made by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he wants to give the credit to his devotees who carry out his plan according to his desire. There is a desire of the Lord and there is a plan of the Lord. Now, if we have to follow the plans of the Lord as per his desire, he is giving all the credits. But to do that, first thing required is we need to follow the instructions of Krishna cent percent. We need to follow the instructions, two things. We need to follow the instructions of Krishna cent percent, and we need to see the hands of the Lord in our lives. Two very important things. Unless we follow the instructions of a person, how can we know what is his plan? Unless a person follows the instructions, how do you ever understand even what is his plan? The material world is created and acting maya dhikshena prakriti suyate sacharacharam. The material world is acting under the direction of the Lord. There is a plan of the Lord by which it is acting. If we have to remain undisturbed, not agitated, then we have to follow the plan of the Lord. Like he is telling, but he is so kind and merciful to his devotees that he wants to give the credit to his devotees who carry out his plan according to his desire. You see, in life, we are always agitated because we have our own plans. We don't want to align with Krishna's plans. We always think independent and separate of Krishna, and we are agitated, disturbed, like that boat which is there in that ocean, which is being ahata, vata ahata, injured or inflicted by strong wind, and there is no resting place. The moment we align ourselves with Krishna's plans, we follow Krishna's plan, then we can become peaceful and free from agitation. So that's why Prabhupada is writing so simply, life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of the spiritual master. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of the spiritual master. Actually, we have so many independent plans. Like Arjuna at the beginning of Bhagavad Gita was giving so many reasons. And he was Ashrapurna Kulekshanam Visidantam Idam Bhakyam Uvacha Madhusudana. He's lamenting, his eyes are filled with tears and he is in a very precarious situation. Tvakchaiva Paridahyate Shramsate Hasta Gandivam Shramsate Hasta. He's not able to carry his Gandiva. Wow, and his skin is burning and his mouth is becoming dried up. Very precarious situation because he's thinking independently and thinking so many things. What will happen if this happens? What will happen if those people are died? What is the use of this kingdom if there is if it is tainted with blood? All this kind of what if? Without realizing that for every one of us the Lord has a plan, and when we follow his instructions, when we align ourselves with his plans, then our life is free from all the disturbances and the agitation. Prabhupada talks about the story of a man by name Gopal Bhand. In South India, we have Tenali Rama, or there is Birbal, who's supposed to be very clever. Prabhupada gives this example of Gopal Bhand. So this Gopal Bhand, once he heard some loud yelling and shouting and screaming from his neighbor's house. And, he heard it was very loud, and he heard that the husband and the wife, they are quarreling. They are shouting and they're fighting, and there is a quarrel going on. There's so much of quarrel, and so he goes inside the house to find out what's going on. And he asked them, "What's the matter? Why are you so much agitated? What is the reason for your agitation? Why are you so disturbed?" So the man told actually that, I'm going to retire soon. So when I'm going to retire, I'm going to get some money which I have been waiting, which I have been due for, and I'll get that money. When I get that money, I'll buy a cow. That's what is my plan. So what's the big deal? You'll retire, you'll have a cow, that's fine. What is the problem? So then at that time, the man told that actually the idea was, when we have a cow, we will get milk, and that milk will be sufficient for all of us to drink, and we can live happily. But the problem is coming where my wife is telling that instead of this much of quantity of milk, I want this much of quantity of milk for my parents. And I don't want to agree with her proposal. I'm saying, no, we can't give so much of milk to your parents. So, and then there's a fight. Your parents, my family, and your in-laws, my in-laws, and this is going on. And they're loudly shouting and screaming. And suddenly, Gopal Bhan thought, what is the solution to this? So he found that there is a stick there. And he took that stick and he started beating that man. Somebody is not on mute, actually. I'm getting some thing. If you're not on mute, please speak on mute. So he started beating that man very brutally. Black and blue, like very brutally he started beating him. Then suddenly the wife changed her position. And she started telling, "Oh, why are you beating him? This is my husband." So actually, I don't remember if it is Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur or Prabhupada, but they say that if you want to gain a soft corner from your wife, you can be in that kind of a position where the wife changes stand. Otherwise, it is always on the receiving end of not some pleasant things but harsh things. But anyways, so when he started beating that man, the wife started asking, "Why are you doing this? Why are you beating him?" So Gopal Bhan says, actually your cow is now grazing grass in my area. It has come to my house and it is grazing grass. That's why I'm beating you. Then that lady asked, "But where is the cow?" Well, that's the same question I was asking you some time back. Where is the cow? And you were fighting and struggling, saying that the cow will be there, the milk will be there, and then there is a fight. How much of milk to be given to your parents? So like that in our lives also, we keep fighting, keep thinking, what will happen? What will happen if this happens? What if that? What is this? What is that? And we are disturbed and agitated and always restless. Here, actually, Prabhupada is giving a clue in this purport, if you see. So, Prabhupada is writing that he wants to give the credit to his devotees now. Life should therefore move in such a way that everyone acts in Krishna consciousness and understands the Supreme Personality of Godhead through the medium of the spiritual master. If somebody says, "I don't know what is the plan of the Lord," Prabhupada is writing, through the medium of the spiritual master, the plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by His mercy. Actually, we can't understand the Lord's plan unless we become a recipient of His mercy. Plans of the Supreme Personality of Godhead are understood by His mercy, and the plans of the devotees are as good as His plans. One should follow such plans and be victorious in the struggle for existence. The struggle for existence will continue to remain. Unfortunately, if we don't understand the nature of this material world, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, the scriptures, majority of portions they talk about the material world descriptions, not so much about spiritual world, very little spiritual world description. But what is the nature of material world? Because we are right now fixed, situated in the midst of this material world, very deeply situated. So we need to understand the position. It only gives anxieties. It only gives miseries. It only gives botherations. That is the nature of the material world. But we can be victorious in the struggle of existence if we align ourselves with the plans of the Lord, with the plans of the pure devotee, because the pure devotee's plans are non-different from Krishna's plan. As I was mentioning in the purport here, the Lord situated in the hearts of all living entities directs their senses, but He directs in terms of the surrender of the living entity. And in the case of a pure devotee, he directly controls the senses. So actually, pure devotees' senses are controlled by the Lord because they don't have anything else in the heart except for thinking, save and except for thinking the Lord. And the Lord also doesn't have anything else save and except thinking about how to take care of my pure devotee. So when we follow the plans of the pure devotee, when we follow his plans, it is as good as following the plans of the Lord. That is how we can remain unagitated and undisturbed in this painful, miserable conditional existence.